But she was mad and sad and feeling bad, thinking about the things that she never had. No love, just sex, probably with the check and the note. The last night was so. Taking it, yo. Alright, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that baby. Let's talk about sex. Come on, let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Ladies, louder now. Come on. Ladies, all the ladies, louder now. Y'all know y'all remember this. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things. All right. Welcome to this week's learning session. I am ITT Walk by Right. I am broadcasting via my Facebook business page, Extreme ITT, via my private group, Extreme ITT, the Leaders Community, and also my YouTube page, Extreme ITT. So tonight, we're going to have a nice discussion about, hold on guys, I got to get this right here, right? I got to get the sound right. Hold on 1 minute before I bring Dominique in. A couple of housekeeping rules. These learning sessions are every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, what is a learning session? I'm glad you asked. A learning session is all about helping you go to the next level. Now, we offer an array of topics because we want you to be the better and best version of yourself. So that could be writing a book when we had that young lady on. It could be about manifesting. It could be about health and wellness. And tonight we're speaking about love, communication, and sex. And it is very much so important that you understand communication. Communication is the key. And also, it's not just about sex now, because your communication is needed in the workplace, in the workforce, in your home, whoever you're speaking to. There is a way that you communicate. And Dominique Dorsey is going to teach us exactly what that is. She is a certified love coach and a sexpert. Come on through now. Let me tell you something. Let me go ahead and bring her on. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, TT.
How are you? Looking all beautiful tonight?
Pretty good. It's a good day. Good night.
Giving us all them colors of love.
I know, right?
Come through. So listen, y'all know how I do. I'm going to hop off and I'm going to give Dominique the floor. And make sure if you have any questions, hey, Susie, if you have any questions, feel free. We are all adults here. I don't have no children on my page. Even though they act like children, they are above age. So if you have questions for Dominique, feel free. But she is going to take the floor. She is going to teach us about love, communication, and sex. Take it away, baby.
Thank you, TT. Again, my name is Dominique Williams. I'm just going to spin through some of the principles of communicating in a relationship. Because a lot of us have never learned the basics. A lot of us are still not comfortable with ourselves to even have some of these conversations or even be honest with ourselves about what we want. So we're just going to kind of start with the basics, and then we'll move in to some of the things you could maybe do with your spouse or mate, or, you know, in your couple or situationship, or what's the new one? Entanglement, whatever you might be in. I'm going to try to give you a few skills tonight to be able to use, you know, in your relationship. So to start, the biggest question is, you know, what is communication? So communication is basically, and this is, you know, just my definitions that I've gone over in the years that best fits this particular situation. Webster probably won't say what I'm saying. But it's just really about being honest and real, understanding and being able to relate. And those things alone lead to a genuine intimacy, and a healthy bond between you and that person, or you and those people, whatever we're doing these days. Some people say, well, why do we need communication? Well, we need communication to live every day. We use it to get food. We use it, to get educated. Communication is a part of life. But when you're talking about in your relationships, in your personal life, you first have to communicate with yourself. So when you communicate with yourself, then you learn about you. I have a journal. Well, more like 6 or 7 of them, actually, different purposes. But if you get a journal and write to yourself, talk to yourself, tell yourself you're beautiful, you're, amazing, put your feelings in there. When you're angry, be angry. Say you're angry. Say what you're angry about. And when you're happy, say you're happy. Say how, wonderful you feel today. So it all starts with communicating with yourself, because you can't communicate with other people if you don't even know how to tell you what's going on. In order to communicate with your partner, you have to be able to, listen and hear concerns and try to understand. Um, you know, you have to be able to fulfill your relationship requirements, whatever they might be between you and that person. It might be something that they need from you. And it all starts with communicating. If you don't start there, it's pretty much ruined before it even gets off the ground. So that's just a few reasons why we really need, communication. And, not only those, but it just helps your mate feel valued, feel loved, feel understood when you can talk to them and tell them what you need them to know. Whether it's just a pick me up, or whether you're in the middle of a hot, angry argument and they need to know, the real. Um, so just though that's the beginning of it, that communication, and knowing that is necessary. So once we get there, we have to know, going into a relationship, that you can't convert the person that you're with. We have these things now where this generation thinks you're supposed to fix whatever's going on with somebody. I seen a meme once that said, why can't a lady just say he's damaged, let me fix him? You can't. You can't fix them. You can't change them. You can't convert them. It's an internal issue. So never go into a relationship trying to convert a person. You have to make sure, that you're consistent, that, you are communicating, you're acknowledging, you're celebrating these people, and understanding where they are, where they're coming from. And it'll help when you get into those different oppositions and those views where you guys don't agree. All of these things, they are easier to get through when you have a good foundation as far as communication. Another thing that we have to pay attention to is knowing who we are. If you're an introvert, if you're an extrovert, if you're an ambivert, that means you have a little bit of both. Those things play a part in the bedroom. Those things play a part in general intimacy. And intimacy is not all about, sex. Intimacy is a whole nother level, right? So we have to know who we are, and they have to know who they are. And then we have to play those weaks and those strong points off of each other. Um, are you passive? Are you aggressive? Are you assertive? Those things are important as well. Knowing how you communicate and what your style is. And all of these things are going to push us into our intimacy and how we need to behave. Well, not need to behave, but what works best in the bedroom for you and that person. It's a lot of people who are more visual communicators, right? They need to see you. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, if I see my man fly, I got to let him know he fly, right? And that thing will spark something in me. Being cute, but My favorite thing is say, you just make my monkey jump, right? So I love a handsome man. I love a well-dressed man. I'm visual. Some people are not. Um, and so you have people that are kinesthetic. They need to touch. They want to rub. They want to stroke. They want to touch your hair. They want to smell you. They need that. Um, they need that sense of touch. They need that interaction. That's how they display, their communication as far as body language and everything is through touch. And that is a way that they get aroused, or a way that they feel like they're delivering the love that they have for you is through that touch. And then you have people who are auditory. Are you auditory? Do you need to hear it? Those are our people who prefer phone sex, or small, quiet, intimate conversations. When you travel a lot, this is the plus, right? You don't get to see your mate, so we're doing everything via video and phone now. So that's the type of communication that your mate may need. They may need that auditory communication. They may need you to get outside your comfort zone and get nasty on that phone. Um, you just never know. And it all starts with an open communication, open conversation, and finding out who they are, who you are, and being honest about that. So, when we get all these things out of the way, our communication style, who they are, who you are, and it's all on the table, then you're going to push into getting your levels of communication and love down. So you have the foundation, right? We're communicating, we're getting to know each other, we're drawing out each other's personalities, we're asking questions, we're finding out things that we have in common, things that we don't like. We're finding all these things out on the foundation level of communication. And then it gets more intimate, the next level. So now we're talking about our sexual needs, because everybody's grown, and some of us wait until we're married, but a lot of us don't. So you get into that relationship and you're communicating, whether it be 2 months, 3 months, 2 days, 3 days, whatever your preference is. You lay that foundation of communication, and then you move up to intimacy. And then now you're being honest, having natural conversations about what you like, what they like, where they can touch you, where they can't touch you. Because some of us have been through things in certain places that we are touched triggers that. So you have to be honest with your mate. I don't like to do this. I don't like to have sex with the lights on. I don't want to do this, or I'm not really down for spontaneousness. I want to have a more structured environment. I don't want to do it here, do it there. Those are the things that we're having in this intimate communication level. We're talking about our needs, about our wants, what we don't like, how we want to be touched, how we don't want to be touched. And then we get to our intuitive level. And at this point, everybody is, the people in this relationship, they are in tune, right? I know your likes and I know your dislikes. I know when I touch you here, how I'm going to get a response. I know when I touch you there, this is what's going to happen. And it's just a pure mind to mind connection. But you can't get to this level if you haven't been honest from the start on where you are, what you need from someone. This is where, in this phase, this is where our desires and our fantasies kind of come out. And I have a really fun game for some couples that kind of expresses those desires without stepping on any toes. Because some people don't want to say, well, hey, I want to have a threesome, or hey, I want a little girl on girl action, or whatever it might be. And it's a really cute game that we play, the couples that I counsel. And they come in and we have this pile, a pile of, okay, we can do that. A pile of, hell no, we're not doing that. And, a pile of, I don't know, maybe I could be talked into it. Right. So in this intuitive phase, this is where those things come out. We are comfortable with each other. We are, conversing on a wonderful level. I am very drawn to your, mental aspect. We can have great conversation and have an intimate level of conversation without ever touching each other. And then crossing over into the physical intimacy, it's on point. So now we're into this level, and I can play out my fantasies. I can do whatever I need to do, and I can feel comfortable. I don't feel judged. I don't feel, like you're looking at me side eyed. Um, so all of these things play a part. We have to make sure that we are communicating with our spouses, with our lovers, whatever it might be on your side. Um, we have to make sure we're communicating, not so much belittling or attacking. We have to make sure that we're saying, I didn't like that, or I'll try it, but I'm not really into it. And if they want to do something that's not really your stilo, then don't make them feel bad about it. Don't make them feel like because they want to do whatever it is that they want to do, that now they are, we like to throw religion at people like that's a sin. You can't do that. Or you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. We all come from different belief systems. And maybe it's not something that they really want. Maybe it's something that they've seen and want to try. And they may never do it again. So in that phase of intuitiveness, that's where we are. We have to play out those things so we don't get bored in our relationship. We don't get so comfortable. Hey, I bagged the girl, I got her, I love her, she loves me, I don't have to do any more work. No, this phase is where all the work is, right? We've done some work, but now you have to keep it fresh. You got to keep it live. You got to have fun. You got to be spontaneous, all these things. And it's even more easier because you guys know each other. So you're gonna know when she gets off work, if she opens the door and lay flowers all over the floor and candles and whatever it might be. It might be a weighted blanket or the couch with Marvel movies playing. If that's what she likes, then that's what she likes. But you're supposed to know what that is at this point, and you're supposed to make sure you play on those things, and so you guys can continue to be intimate and then make sure that you don't get bored. That's the key, not getting bored. So this is a 2-hour course that I teach, and I have to squeeze it into, 15, 20 minutes. But these are just the basics of communication in a relationship, and making sure that we are open, making sure we don't define our relationships with whatever society told us to define it by. Whatever society says we can't do, we're not doing. If you and your spouse want to play pimp and hoe, play pimp and hoe. Okay. Be the best hoe he ever met. If that's what y'all want to do, right? You don't go into your relationship not doing things because other people think it's not okay. Whatever you and that person are, agree to, or you guys want to explore, do it. Because if you're in a long-term relationship, forever is a long time. A lot of us put on rings and we never take them off. That person, we're with them until they die or you die first. So we've got a lifetime. Why would you just go through life doing missionary only, right? There's so many other things to do. So just making sure that we communicate, we get comfortable. We are verbal and honest, about what you want, what you like, what you would like to try, and not making it a big deal if you don't agree with your mate or your spouse. Um, Letting them feel comfortable enough to tell you what they're thinking without crushing them if you disagree. All of these things are going to play a part in the bedroom. So you get comfortable with this communication, and then down the road in the bedroom, you can say things that you need to say that he wants you to say. So I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not going there, TT. Um, so you can say things that you need to say. You can talk dirty. You can try things. You can feel comfortable. And if it doesn't work out, okay, you tried it, right? So just making sure that you take some of these skills and push them into your relationships. Make sure you're being open. Make sure you're communicating, so that you can get the most intimacy out of your relationship and not have a dry bedroom life, or even everyday personal life. These same communication skills, they transfer to your everyday life, talking to people that's out, knowing who you're talking to and what their styles are. All of these, these skills are transferable. You don't have to just use them in your relationship in the bedroom. You can use them out in the real world too. So just making sure, that you are as free as you want to be. Okay. And that is the key. You don't define yourself at all by anything. Look at TT, she over there dancing in her seat. But yeah, that's making sure, that's the whole reason why I created Free to Be Naughty. People come to me and I encourage them to be as nasty as they want to be. Okay, whatever's gonna make you happy in your life, in your relationship, be that person. Yes, ma'am.
This was good. Dominique.
Hey,
Let me
I
tell
think
you
you like
something.
the rap stuff.
You know what? I think when I asked you to do this session, I knew that it was very much so needed, especially with females, because a lot of times we are not holding up to our bargain of the game. And then now that doesn't excuse cheating or entanglements or all of that other
No.
good stuff. It doesn't excuse that, but I think that sometimes we haven't explored ourselves. And I think that that's
Right.
the most important thing you can do as a woman is understanding not only your body parts, but what you like, how it makes you feel, what you dislike. I think a lot of times we go along with a lot of things that we dislike, which is also a part of communication. Because if you don't like something and no one knows, or that particular person doesn't know, you can't get mad with that person. And that
Exactly.
goes back to a lot of people always wanting other people to make them happy. And you have to learn how to be happy. You have to learn literally what makes you happy. So, number one, I want to honor you and thank you for coming on and sharing such a small, intricate piece with my audience. However, we have questions out there. Now, we have one particular question. They want to know, do you accept insurance? Because somebody already said they need to be, coached or counseled in this particular entanglement situation. And they're not in
Hmm.
an entanglement, but I just like using that word.
Well, at the moment, right now, I do not accept insurance because most of them don't qualify this as a covered service.
Mm.
But I do payment plans. I do have different things that programs and things like that. Some people are on 3 or 4 month plans, some on 6 months plans. If you're coming and you're coming consistently, then I am, willing to work out as far as pricing. But pricing is really not even that bad, honestly. But if you're, longevity doing counseling, then it may get kind of pricey. But I don't accept insurance at the moment. But I do work out, packages for all my clients.
Awesome. So another question that we have is, for so long I have been a prisoner due to post trauma. So I'm super shy sexually. What can I do?
Um, it's a lot of healing to be done, honestly. That's a whole different conversation that I can have with you. But it's healing that needs to be done. And we'll never forget some of the things that we've experienced, sexual trauma, other kind of traumas that we go through. PTSD exists, and not just over the battlefield, right? So it's some different things that we can do, different exercises, but it's going to be a very emotional roller coaster. Is going to take addressing that pain, that fear, all those emotions. You're going to have to push in them head on.
Mm.
That's the thing, and you got to heal from them. What happened. Most things that happen to us is never our fault.
Yeah.
When we have to understand that sometimes people are who they are, and they're in whatever place they're in, and sometimes we're just victims.
Right.
But we have to push through. We have to
Mhm.
address the emotion, and when that healing starts, then you'll see a difference in your love life.
So, I have a couple of people that are talking and asking, we was all into it. I don't know if you could see me behind the scenes, but
No,
I was
I
shaking
can't
my
see a
head.
thing.
But my thing is, like, many of us are home right now because of this recent pandemic, and a lot of us are spending more time with our significant others. Some of us are connecting in ways that we've never connected before, and then some of us are disconnecting because we're spending too much time together. What do you think is something that you can do, or you can tell our audience that they can do moving forward? Because everybody loves sex, okay? Everybody likes to feel good. People don't like to talk about it publicly.
Mhm.
However, this is
Very
a
true.
conversation that needs to be had, especially with women. Like I always say, because a lot of times we don't embrace ourselves. A lot of times we feel that we can't do X, Y, and Z because we believe in our mind that we were one of the ones that parted the Red Sea. Hello, somebody. But anyway, what do we do right now in the midst of this pandemic to bring back that love, to keep that family unit, or not even necessarily that family unit, but that love unit, and keep that spark going? Now, I know you mentioned your sex kit. Am I saying it
Mhm.
correctly? So let's talk
The
about that.
purple
And
kit.
before we say that, once we're done, I want you to go into the leaders community and please post a link, because I have someone asking about your prices that's in the leaders community. So I want you to post that within that group. But however, how do we? Well, let's talk about this kit. What's that all about, girl?
Yeah, so it is a lot of people who are experiencing different things being trapped at home with their spouses. It's going good and some of it is going bad. This couples kit, it is fun. It is very risky or risque.
Mm, with
So, this is a kit that's going to push you to do some new things that you've never done. It's going to make you take your kids somewhere else. I advise you, if you have children, like my like my cousin say, children.
cheering.
If you got children, take them somewhere else, okay?
Take them over to
Um,
grandma.
because this kid,
Grandma might have a box too now.
okay, honey, we get her one too. Yes. Um, but this kit will have you in different places in your house. This kit will have you role playing. This kit will have you doing a little bit of, now not Christian Grey red room type stuff, but a little bit of bondage, a little bit of handcuffs, a little silk rope, those kind of things. So you can add a little bit of fun. Schedule a time, make sure the kids are gone. Or if you don't have kids, then spring that thing on them, honey. Come in the door, you already got your, Angela Bassett, Stella got a groove back outfit on, sexy, water, braids done, whatever. Um, so just having a little bit of fun. This kit does that,
Mm,
and space helps too. So I know we're all, post corona and all that stuff, and we're trying to stay in the house, but having a little bit of distance between you, how can you miss something that's always around, right? Put a little bit of distance in between you and that person, whether you go spend a night, not spend a night, but spend a day with your girls, or take a trip.
mm,
Even with coronavirus, I have a very small number of people that I interact with because I know they're, safe and I'm safe. So sometimes we'll have girls' days or whatever it might be. Put a little space in between. Let him hang out with his boys, and you do whatever you do, so y'all can miss each other a little bit. So when you see each other, it's boom, that
mm.
spark is there. But
Let me
this will touch all over that.
let me ask you a quick question.
Mhm.
How do you think love, communication, relationship, having sex and feeling good about yourself, how do you think that plays a role in your day-to-day living? Because I'm one of those people that sometimes when I see or I'm in connection with people that are very much so unhappy, do you think that plays a role in their lives? Because I always say, when a young lady is mean for whatever reason, she's not happy at home. Do you think that really plays a role in people day-to-day lives?
It does. It really does. People who lack companionship or are in relationships that they don't want to be in, or in their own little situationships or entanglements, that stuff plays out. A lot of people are frustrated sexually. A lot of people are angry. A lot of people feel unnoticed. You
Mm.
know, they are side pieces and other things that we like to use in this generation, those words, but um they all have different kinds of situations, and then it comes out. You know, they're angry, they're mean, they're aggressive. um and my grandma used to say a long time ago, you just need to go and get him some. Why he acting?
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
so it's true. And it, you know, psychologically it can be a lot. You
Yeah.
know, a lot that you go home to you know, by yourself every day. You don't
Yeah.
have anybody. You don't have a companion, nor do you have friends. So
Mm.
it's different things that people experience in their personal lives, or things that they're lacking, and then it
Mhm.
comes out in their personality. That's why we have to be careful, you know, because hurt people hurt other people.
Yes.
People who are angry, people are lonely, people are who are hurting inside, they are aggressive with us, and it's never about us.
Mhm.
So it does. That's totally true.
This was absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed listening to you and, answering our audience questions. And, again, I am honored to be in your space. I'm honored to be connected to you. I'm honored that you're one of the speakers at the upcoming The Leaders Conference, shameless plug, Myrtle Beach 2020, March 12th, 13th, 14th.
Right.
But I just wanted to throw that out there really quick. It's nothing too big.
Yes.
But I really love what you're doing, and I think that is a very important piece because even though it's something that's supposed to be hidden behind closed doors and in the sheets, we have to have these conversations. And again, a lot of times people don't have people in their circle to have these conversations with because again, we grew up that you don't talk about what you do behind closed doors because your
Exactly.
girlfriend might try to, but then there
Mhm.
are some circles that you can have where you can have these intimate conversations and feel comfortable. So I also think that that's very, very much so important. So we're going to wrap this up. We're right at 31 minutes. It's been an amazing 31 minutes. You gave some really, really great nuggets. And again, I want you to make sure you go in the leaders community. Let them know how to get in contact with you. I can do a Facebook Live and none of them will ask anything, but I bring in guests and I love that because that's what the leaders community is all about. I
Yeah,
don't know everything, but I'm connected to someone that does. So, Dominique,
exactly.
make sure you stay on. I'm going to sign off. As always, leaders, as always, make sure you stand strong and manifest the extreme. Thank you for tuning in for this week's